Good evening, I'm Matthew Mills, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Lots of news for Nebraska volleyball this Wednesday. First, seniors Bergen Riley, Harper Murray, and Andy Jackson have all been named to the AVCA Player of the Year watch list. 30 players across Division I volleyball were named to the watch list by the AVCA Division I Women's Volleyball Awards Committee, and 3 of them are Huskers. The other news for the volleyball program is their matchup at Jerry World. At the inaugural Spikes Under the Lights event in the Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium, the Huskers will take on Florida at 7 p.m. on August 27th. Following Nebraska versus Florida match, Penn State will play SMU at 8 p.m. and a championship match between the winners of each match is scheduled for 9 p.m. Spikes Under the Lights will mark the first women's collegiate sporting event at AT&T Stadium and will feature a $1 million prize for the winner. Nebraska men's basketball announced their non-conference schedule for the 2026 to 2027 season. The non-con schedule is highlighted by 4 power conference opponents, Missouri out of the SEC, and Providence, Butler, and Creighton out of the Big East. The Huskers will also take on Boise State in mid-November in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. To see the full non-conference schedule, visit Huskers.com. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, helping homeowners and businesses protect what matters most for over 45 years.
Infield to the right as well. Heron to the line, her one ball pitch. Ava swings and drives this one to center. Johnson going back. It's gone. It's gone. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. Huskers win. 5-3 on the Kuzak 2-run home run.
5:58 to go in the first half of play as Jamarcus Lawrence trots it into the front court, picked up by Cooper Campbell. Bounce pass, left corner, 3-ball. Sanford got another one. 5 of them. Sanford exhorting the crowd, and they oblige. And the Huskers are up 11.
Keelan Smith, the motion man from left to right. Snap, quick screen near left, leaping catch from Hunter, leaks through, breaks an ankle tackle. There he goes, Hunter 40, 35-30. Hunter all the way. That just might be your dagger.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome into Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody, and we got a big show coming up for you tonight. Damon Benning going to join us. He's in Chicago for Big Ten Media Day, so we'll chat with him, dive into all things Big Ten Conference and some of the big storylines from around the conference here over the last few days. Also, Harper Murray going to join here in just a few minutes. I actually had a chance to chat with her yesterday, so we'll bring you that conversation as well. I am in Oklahoma, so this was kind of a last-minute trip. Had some family things that took place that I wanted to be down here the last weekend, really, because, hey, we're going to be underway a week from today with fall camp. We've got Fan Day coming up next weekend, so I figured I'd get down here, be with my family one last time. So this is a last-minute deal. So I am in Oklahoma, back in the studio, or in the study, Kyle, with the books behind me. So that's why my if you're watching on our streams, why it looks a little bit different for me tonight.
It's my favorite backdrop on this show is all those books that you never read. Did you read any of those books?
No, I did not read any of those books. Those are my grandma's books that she accumulated and my mom kept. But you were able to see Sunny, though. I just picked her up and you were able to talk to her on the screen. So Sunny's
must be a very good passenger in the car because the amount of times you drive 8 hours back and forth from Lincoln to Sentinel, Oklahoma, it's a lot in a year.
Yes, but she's gotten used to it. She is a good travel buddy, that's for sure. But well, I guess day 2 of Big Ten Media Days. Anything jump out to you today from what we heard from the coaches today?
No, nothing really that Pat Fitzgerald talked today for Michigan State. PJ Fleck had an incredibly long opening statement that didn't allow, I think there's 15 minutes total for a head coach at the podium. The main podium. Now, they do a side session. That isn't the end all be all for the media, but he talked for 13 of the 15 minutes, so there weren't a whole lot of questions that he had the opportunity to answer. You had Oregon, who was they're breaking in a pair of new coordinators this year. Dan Lanning had a chance to speak today. Ryan Day was there with Ohio State. So you had two of the three elite teams that are there for Big Ten Media Days. We'll hear from Damon Benning a little bit later in the show, but one of those teams that all of us that cover the league, that have seen the league, first-year head coach and Bob Chesney, he had a chance to talk today. His first Big Ten Media Days, of course, he was the head coach of James Madison, and
I was impressed with him today.
Yeah, they're trying to use that same sort of thing we saw with Cignetti, right? He came from James Madison. They took a lot of those players. It's the same case with UCLA. They're bringing both of their coordinators, a lot of their players from that last James Madison team, and does that remedy work for UCLA? I think a lot of people were surprised that Nico stayed with the Bruins as their starting quarterback. They have some guys that are returning on their defense that we saw last year that were productive. So they could be one of those sleeper teams. And Purdue was there today. They can't be much worse than what they were last year. Another year for Barry Odom, who's just trying to take that program out of the mud for starters. And unfortunately, the Huskers don't get a chance to play Purdue this year. That would be a nice little spot in the schedule if they had a chance to play each other. But those were the six teams today. Not a whole lot that was out there like we saw with Bielema in day one of conference media days when he took a shot at the SEC. It's been a lot more, I would say, quiet than what we saw out of the Southeastern Conference.
All right, so we'll talk much more Big Ten Media Days coming up hour number 2 with DB. Also tomorrow, Nebraska will take the stage, so we'll dive into all of that coming up on tomorrow night's show. But Troy Dannon, athletic director for Nebraska, had a chance to chat with a few of the local reporters and kind of some big news items coming out. He's going to be on Sports Nightly. You already have the date scheduled, I believe, August 24th?
August 24th is what we're looking at for his first show of the new athletic year.
Yeah, but he was able to meet with a few of the reporters and kind of dive into some of the big news items. And I guess let's start with kind of what you took away from his the messaging about tickets, because the packages just were released here this week that you can get, 3-game mini pack or whatever, if you will. But he kind of for what people were maybe saying about it, he changed the narrative a little bit and explained what the reasoning was behind it.
Yeah, we've seen, and you've probably heard my voice on some of the commercials during breaks about the ticket packages: 2 for $50 against Bowling Green, 4 for $100 against Ohio. They asked him with the thought, and there were concerns out there, does this mean the sellout streak since 1962 is something that's going to be up in the air if all of a sudden there's all these ticket deals that maybe we haven't seen in the past? His quote was this, and this is from Sam McEwen's article in the Omaha World Herald. Again, Troy had a chance to talk to some select local reporters that are out there in Chicago. Troy had said that they challenged the ticket office to go out and actually sell tickets as opposed to selling unsold tickets a week or two before the game to an outside broker for dimes on the dollar. So you don't want to try to lose money on those tickets this time around, to try and get a little more bang for your buck on those tickets as opposed to selling them a little bit closer to kickoff. So that was just a little bit of change in philosophy, I would guess, for the ticket office, and wanting to sell more tickets as opposed to, like we said, selling some of the unsold ones closer to kickoff. And they feel the season tickets too, Jess, pretty much a 90% renewal rate, 58,000 season tickets sold. That does not include student tickets. They feel like they're still in a very good spot when it comes to tickets this coming year. I know a lot of people, there were some concerns when you first see Nebraska promoting some of these ticket plans.
So another big storyline going into this college football season, again, going back to January, the NCAA approved that Division I sports could sell ad space on uniforms, equipment, and apparel for any non-championship competition. So we're seeing more and more of those come out. Of course, the Big 12 with their Monster Energy deal at $20 million per year. So it comes out to about $1 million per school. But now they can also do additional patches.
Yes.
So like Kansas, Oklahoma State both have additional patches, but we're hearing more and more of the schools that have signed on deals to add those patches. Notre Dame, I think it came out yesterday, with SoFi Technologies This is the most now. They take the
18 to
cake.
20.
They're in the top spot now. $18 to $20 million a year. Ohio State with J.P. Morgan and Chase at $17 million per year. And Troy again saying today that they're going to wait on that, and so again, kind of feel out the market. And Kyle, I was kind of thinking about that too. I mean, not only do we not know that could be worth more in a year from now, but also, what if the team comes off a really great season? I think right now, I think the messaging has been really clear, and we're not shying away from this. Got to be better. And so, wouldn't it be also smarter to wait until your football team is maybe going into a season, with a little bit better of a record, and maybe again, just on a better footing in terms of just where the program stands.
Yeah, you want a better bargaining chip, right, if you win more games. But Troy had mentioned those deals with Ohio State and Notre Dame that have such large numbers attached to them. They're not just jersey patch deals, but he shined a light a little bit on the fact that they're campus-wide deals activated along with it. So there's more behind that money. And it's not just football for the jersey patch. At least I know for Ohio State, it's all their sports that are going to be wearing patches on their jerseys, if I'm correct on that. And the Huskers are going to wait another year, sit back, because everybody, I mean, all the FBS schools are trying to go for the same real estate on the jersey, try to sell a little bit more and sell an advertiser on the jersey, make that money. If you sit back an extra year, let the market just rest a little bit, can you find perhaps a better deal? And like you said, first and foremost, if you go out and have a great season this year, then that would help as well. Another side note on the jersey too, the winning tradition patch, which became a very big deal during the reveal of the new jersey design. That is something, according to Troy, that is not sewn on by Adidas, rather, and that's why they did not appear on the recently unveiled jerseys, but Nebraska and Jay Terry's squad are the ones that sew that onto the jerseys. So I know that was a very big deal when that was eliminated off the jersey, but it seems like when the season comes around that patch will be back on because it's actually the equipment staff that sews on that jersey, and that's why they were not a part of the reveal. So everybody could take a deep breath there. The winning tradition patch is indeed a part of the new jersey.
Got a question about the patches that go in the uniforms. They cannot be for NIL. So no, so a single player can't go out and get their own deal to put their own patch on it. You can't earn just like from like the PlayFi deal. You can't get money from that, but it can go into your rev share pot, correct?
Yes.
And from what we're seeing with the updated Protect College Sports Act, it appears like the cap is about to go up significantly. So again, when we have heard from Troy about, finding new ways to generate that revenue, this is going to be another, I think, big part of that, and being able to, if you add that $20 million or $22 million retention fund to retain your players that you currently have on your roster, so then it goes from 22 million to 48 million. This is one of those things that you can add to the pot to help you fulfill that, correct?
Yes, and I know we're not huge fans of having ads on everything, but if you see the numbers that are thrown out there, you have to get that money from somewhere. And Troy had also talked about the possibility of a field logo on Tom Osborne Field. And if it's not, it probably won't be a reality this year, but next year, you could be going into next season with a jersey patch on, with a logo on the turf at Memorial Stadium. The one thing that he said is not up for grabs is the naming of the stadium. Now, who knows if that changes 5 or 10 years from now because the numbers are so out of whack. Hopefully we're heading in the right direction, Jess. The SEC and the Big Ten, they've had a lot of conversations about this college sports bill to try and get this thing passed. It doesn't seem like it's going to happen anytime soon. They're not going to get it on the Senate floor before the recess takes place, so it's going to delay the proceedings a little bit. So hopefully if this bill goes through, it'll even out some of these numbers. But I would imagine next year that if you're uncomfortable with seeing advertisements everywhere, you hopefully get comfortable, because it's the only way that you're going to be able to keep up with the way that college athletics at the very tippy top of those that compete for championships. This is what you have to do in the SEC and the Big Ten.
Yeah, and again, so last night, again, the reporting out of from Ross Dellinger was that the Big Ten and SEC was given a deadline of 9 a.m. this morning, but as of today, again, Ross all over this, doing all the reporting on this, covering, talking to all the who's who that's involved in this on all levels and all parties, saying that they did not sign off on it with the correct verbiage that the SEC and Big Ten were looking for. So it's pretty slim to none chances that this thing is going to get passed here soon. And
also, too, I did want to mention, just in my elbow, my arm went numb. I hit like a bad nerve on my arm. That scared me for a second.
Ouch. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, my whole arm just is tingling right now. Troy did also mention, too, Jess, as we go through this story from Sam, did a great job just sort of outlining the all the thoughts from Troy, because he hasn't talked in a while. He's been in a lot of these meetings, but the thought of the 24-team playoff and what that could mean for scheduling within the regular season, that you could be eventually see the year that we go to a 24-team playoff, whenever that may be. I think the cutoff for voting on that is in December of this coming year. But you could see the Big Ten eventually move to 10 conference games if there's a 24-team playoff, because, again, it gives you more of a kind of a wiggle room in terms of losing some games. So if you add another conference game within the league, and then also he did mention there is a possibility way down the line, we're talking in the 2030s, of adding more Power 4 non-conference opponents. There's plenty on their schedule as is. They have Arizona, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Cincinnati again. There's in the near future, there are some Power 4s that are on that non-conference, but looks like they are looking to add more, but that would be probably a decade from now.
Lots of good news nuggets today.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff from Troy, and we're getting here because next week, like you said, a week from today, practice will have already been going, and we'll be out there watching it and getting you interviews and all that good stuff. And
Kyle will be a much, much happier camper.
I will be. And then I say that, and then I'll just be miserable because I'll be in my regiment staring at screens all the time, too. I'll have a lot more headaches starting next week for staring at screens. You know what?
And then, so a week from Wednesday and then 2 weeks from Sunday is the red-white scrimmage for Husker volleyball. So we're getting closer.
You know what next week is?
Husker soccer, right?
No. It is the NFL Hall of Fame game next week.
Oh, yes.
We kick off in Canton, Ohio, with our first NFL preseason game on August 6th, I believe. Buckle in. It's the Panthers and the Cardinals on a Hall of Fame game. We got a lot of NFL guys in here. And you're an NFL fan because you root for former Huskers and Sooners and all that stuff. But it's here. NFL camps are already open. I mean, they're already practicing right now.
Yep. All right, we got to get to a break. Coming up next, we're going to hear from Harper Murray. I had a chance to chat with her yesterday. Boy, she's been all over the place this summer. A lot of really cool opportunities we're going to talk with her about coming up next. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. 402-413-2400 is that number on our Woodhouse Sports Nightly hotline if you want to text into the show. I would love to hear your thoughts. All right, got to get to a break. Harper Murray up next here on Sports Nightly.
Shopping for a vehicle shouldn't feel complicated. At Woodhouse Auto Family, our commitment to clear price is about more than the price you see. It's about creating a buying experience that's straightforward, transparent, and hassle-free from beginning to end. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, flexible financing, fair trade values, and trusted service after the sale, you'll see why so many drivers continue to choose Woodhouse. Woodhouse, clear price, clear choice, hassle-free all the way to your driveway.
McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McInnesInc.com. McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McInnes Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McInnesInc.com.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between two mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit Huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Technology isn't just a part of your business, it is your business. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we believe that the right technology tools make all the difference. From seamless phone systems to secure cloud solutions, we empower Nebraska businesses to stay connected, protected, and ahead of the competition. Your technology isn't an afterthought, it's your competitive edge. Let the official business IT partner of the Huskers show you how technology helps drive business success. Technology is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Choosing the right vehicle starts with choosing the right dealership. At Woodhouse Auto Family, clear price is more than a promise. It's the foundation of everything we do. That means a straightforward buying experience, flexible financing, fair trade values, and trusted service that continues long after you've driven off the lot. Every interaction is designed to give you confidence, earn your trust, and make buying your next vehicle easier. That's the Woodhouse difference. Woodhouse, clear price, clear choice, hassle-free all the way to your driveway.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store, only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Kyle Crooks, I'm Jessica Coody. So Kyle, I was working on the volleyball videos today, and I was just kind of looking at the schedule. And again, we're less than 30 days out. And 14 days from Sunday will be the red-white scrimmage inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. And I was chatting about this with a couple of the players yesterday. But I mean, how many programs could have their scrimmage in their basketball arena and potentially sell out that thing?
Potentially, I would say. I would make it pretty.
It won't until tomorrow, by the way, July 30th. So tomorrow those tickets.
So buy. It's going to happen, and I'm just fascinated by August 27th, the spikes under the lights, the aesthetic of what that's going to look like. I think there's going to be some network announcement soon. I'm surprised we haven't had one yet. Have I missed a network announcement on television as to who's going to air the two matches that they play out in Dallas? Is it Fox?
Why do I think it's Fox?
But is it Big Fox or is it FS1?
Big Fox, I think. But I don't quote me on that. I'm not sure.
It's just it doesn't have any designation on the website. I have to look at the release to see.
It might not have been announced yet, but I don't know why
I'm sure they know, but I haven't seen anything officially.
I think they're probably also trying to. It's the first time doing this, which, of course, anytime you do something new with volleyball on a stage like this, you're going to involve Husker volleyball. But I know that it's just been a long process, and you're still trying to figure out you're playing 2 matches with 4 teams with another match, a concert. And so you're trying to figure out probably even how to build the broadcast, you know what I mean? With the breaks and all of that too.
Yeah.
It's a new type of thing. So, all right. So Harper Murray, if you follow her on social media, she's been at the World Cup. She's at the ESPYs. She was at the WNBA All-Star Weekend. I mean, just arguably the biggest brand, according to NIL or Open Doors. We've heard this reported that, one of the biggest brands, if not the biggest brand in college sports, and that's all sports. So she's got a great deal with Adidas, great partnership with Adidas. So a lot of those opportunities coming through Adidas, but I had a chance to catch up with her yesterday as the team was going through their internal media day gearing up for this season.
Man, you've had quite the summer. How has this summer been for you, all the different opportunities that you've been able to partake in?
It's been fun, like you said, living out of a suitcase. But I love traveling, and it's nice for me. That's kind of how I fill my bucket sometimes. So I get to travel, and I get to go to events and meet people and talk to new people. So it's really cool for me to go and then come back to Nebraska because I think it kind of resets my brain a little bit. But, traveling can be stressful. I've gotten really bad at unpacking because I've had to do it so many times, but it's been really cool, and I'm really grateful.
What's been your favorite opportunity that you've been able to partake in?
I would say the World Cup, and then the World Cup, specifically the finals, and then probably the ESPYs after that. That was really fun.
So you're seeing some of the best. You went to the WNBA All-Star Weekend as well. How cool is that for you as one of the best in your sport to be able to kind of take in some of the best in other sports?
Yeah, it's fun. And a lot of the girls that play for the WNBA are some good friends of mine, so it's really fun to go there and see how they manage what they have going on. And All-Star Weekend is so fun. I almost wish volleyball did something like that in the pro league because it's so fun to see all of the girls come together and mix in from different teams. And I don't know, they all just have so much love for each other in the game, so it's really fun to be around.
What'd you take away from the World Cup experience?
I think that I became way more appreciative of other countries' cultures, and I think it's just really cool to experience that and actually be there and hear everything around you going on and see how they act and see what they're saying and how passionate they are. I played soccer when I was younger, but I didn't really watch it for the longest time until the World Cup started. So I learned a lot more about soccer and just some little things about that. But I think I learned a lot about the different cultures, and I feel more educated and appreciative of the culture we have and what they have.
That's really cool. How great has the partnership been with Adidas and they seem to love you, you seem to love them. So how perfect of a fit has it been?
Yeah, well, they're part of the reason I've had so many of the opportunities that I've done this summer and in the past. So, I mean, they do everything they can to keep me happy, and I appreciate that because, relationships with brands can sometimes, they can be hard and they're long. Contracts can be long, but I think it's all about how you approach it. And I've been able to have a really good relationship with Adidas the past, I think, just over a year now. Obviously, Nebraska's Adidas, which makes it even easier to rep their stuff. But they've been really cool, and they're the reason I've had so many cool opportunities. So I'm just really grateful for them.
Well, how does it feel going into year 4? I was joking with Bergen. I felt like I was just interviewing you guys as freshmen. And now here you are, what could be your last year. I know you have the potential to come back, but how does it feel different this time around?
I don't know if it necessarily feels any different. I think we were just sitting in there taking our team photo, and we're like, oh my God, this is the 4th time. We've done this. This is the 4th time now. We're now in the front. So I think it's little situations like that where it hits us and we're like, holy crap, this is our 4th time doing this. It could be our last. I don't know if it's going to hit us completely yet until season officially starts and we're walking out for our first game, but it's been really fun to just experience the younger girls and seeing them, because we were in their shoes one day, or we were in their shoes at one point. So, and they'll be in ours one day. So
I chatted with Taria and Ryan, and then had Gabby on recently, and they all kind of pointed to you and the leader that you've been to them, at the end of last season, but then also welcoming in the new freshmen. How has that evolved for you, and why has that been important for you to be a leader for these young players?
I think every time we've had someone new come in, they've made it really easy to do that. And Gabby specifically, I've known Gabby since she was 12 because we played at the same club. So I already previously had a relationship with her, but I also think it starts with camps. And Dream Team Camp is something that recruits and commits come to before they actually get on campus. And I think that's that was a time where the past 2 to 3 years I've built my relationships with the incoming freshmen. So when T and Campbell were recruits and committing to Nebraska, they were at Dream Team, and I was able to build a relationship with them. Campbell played at Legacy as well, but she obviously was here before Gabby. So just like every single year going to camps and being involved with Dream Team. John had put me with Dream Team my 2 first years, and then Danny put me with them last year. So I think that's where the relationship starts with us. And camps are really fun. Like, it's a time to get to know all the girls that you potentially could be playing with. And if you don't play with them, like if I'm graduating, then you can instill a little bit of like what Nebraska is to them, and hopefully they end up wanting to be here too.
How about just the balancing of the expectations, even going into a season? Because, again, Ryan and Trey pointed to that. I mean, you can get so caught up in it, and then if you don't get to where you ultimately want to go, which very few teams do, you can just get caught up in that. But they said it was, your messaging really resonated with them. How about that, and just evolving in that and understanding that it is more than just holding up a trophy at the end?
I mean, it takes a lot to understand that, and I've definitely had trial and error, with what the correct mindset was after a loss like that. But I think every year I've learned something new. And I've learned a better way to handle that loss, because obviously no one wanted that, and that wasn't our end goal. So I think a little bit came from selfishly, like a little bit maturity on my end. But I think, again, like it comes with time and understanding. And I think this group of girls, specifically the younger girls, I feel like they already have a very good understanding that there's more to them than just volleyball. Mm-hmm. And it took me a while to understand that, but I feel like what I've noticed with this team is I think a lot of the girls already have that understanding. So I think that is going to help us in the future, and that's going to help us at the end of the season this year.
What about you personally going into this? You played so well last year, coming off that season. How do you go into this year and the things that you want to achieve personally?
I'm excited, and I think, like I said, it's our senior year, so I know me, Andy, Bergen, and Lainey just want to go out and make it our best year, whether it's our last or not. Like, we just want to have fun, and we want to play free. So it'll be really exciting, and we have so many cool things coming up at the beginning of the season: Dallas, Wrigley, Vegas, all that stuff. So I think it's going to be really exciting, but definitely going to be hard to balance a little bit, just because we're not going to be at home. I think we're used to starting at home every season, but I think that'll be a good challenge for us.
Did you feel a mindset shift just in the way, like, you can take over games last year, and then how can that maybe carry over into this year, just the way that just the confidence, I guess, that you were playing with?
I think, I think it comes with experience and maturity, whether that's on or off the court. John used to always say to me that volleyball doesn't know your age. And I think that has helped me over the last few years, because that's true. Like, it doesn't know. It has no idea how old you are. So it's just you and the ball. So I think that's something that helped me over the last year or two, try and implement that thought process into my brain in the moment when I'm playing, and like when I need to turn it on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How do you balance being one of the best, and then also everything that you've got going on outside of that? Like, what's that balancing act like?
I mean, it's not easy, but it's not easy at sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, I'm very grateful for it. And what my mom always reminds me of when I travel and I might miss a team workout or an open gym or a camp or something, my mom is always like, when you get back, like, you better work your butt off, because you wouldn't have any of this without volleyball. Mm-hmm. So she always reminds me of that and keeps me humble, because it's true. Like, I wouldn't have all these opportunities with Adidas and Gatorade and traveling to New York for the ESPYs. Like, I wouldn't have any of that if I didn't put the work in on the court. So that's just always a good reminder for me, but it's very true and very relevant. So it's been really cool, and I'm really grateful for it.
All right, last thing, just how excited are you with this group? You've been on the court with them a little bit throughout spring and the summer, but how excited are you? What the potential of this group could be?
I mean, every year it's really exciting to see a new team, because you learn so much about each girl, and you learn new things every year. Like, I've been with Andy, Bergen, and Lainey for almost 4 years now, and I learn something new about them every day. So it's just, it's exciting, because when we get onto the court and we have everyone, we have our game changers, we have our lineup out there, it's going to be really fun to see how we all mesh. And it's going to take, like I said earlier, it's going to take trial and error. Like, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but I think it's just what will be important for us is how we can move through that, and what we find works best for us when we need to adjust or when we need to make a change.
Great stuff. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Again, that was Harper Murray. Had a chance, again, catching up with her yesterday at Internal Media Day. She's had a lot going on, but you heard her say it that, she knows that without these opportunities are coming thanks because of volleyball, and, that it's kind of given her this platform. And so, the 5-5 thing is going to be interesting. Kyle, again, chatted with 3 of them yesterday that have the potential to come back and take advantage of that 5th year with the new eligibility rules. None of them are ready to make a decision yet, certainly not publicly, but I know those conversations will be had with head coach Danny Busboom Kelly. But, as of now, it's none of them saying definitively whether they're coming back or not.
Yeah, I wonder if that.
And I did ask whether it was in the interviews or not. I chatted with them about it. It's just going to be, a big decision for them to make.
I wonder if that'll be an in-season thing, or they have already all agreed that, hey, let's put all of our focus on this season and have had conversations with DBK. Let's let that rest until the end of the year, and then we can all make a collective decision together. Because maybe, one of the seniors has a certain decision, the others have a different decision. Perhaps somebody's decision changes after the months of a long season, a postseason. So a lot of things can change from now until, a Final Four. So why make that why make a decision now that you don't have to make right away?
Well, and especially because this is new, right? I mean, there was rumblings that this potentially could happen, but they are just now processing the fact that they could have another year. So you've been going about it thinking, all throughout the spring, probably my last year, so my senior year, but then, so now they've only really had, about a month since it's been official to really ponder it. But Kyle, think about if nobody transfers, we've not seen a transfer, these past couple of years. And so if this core returns, and it's not just going to be at Nebraska, but man, that kind of poses some problems for some rosters if you're bringing in freshmen. That's another aspect of it, is the freshmen, the incoming pieces, the freshmen that are here now that might not get to play, and the freshmen that are coming in next year, and they have great classes coming in here, but there's only a certain amount of spots on the court that you have. So that's why there's a lot of discussions internally. But I mean, if these specific players want to come back, you're going to let them back. These are the best of the best. These are the elite of the elite. But it also, this year and potentially next year, the pressure is at an all-time high, and they know this. They don't run from this. I mean, you talk to Harper, she understands what the expectation for her, for Andy, for Bergen, for Laney, for everybody, what the expectation is to win a national championship. And for a lot of people, anything short of that can be considered a failure. They understand what the weight on their shoulders is. And they embrace it. They want that, and they welcome that kind of pressure, if you will. And as Andy said, pressure is a privilege. And so, look, when you sign up to play Husker volleyball, that's the expectation, but it's also about kind of enjoying the ride along the way. I think they've just learned a different way to approach it, but it's not yes, the expectations are there. They've been there, and especially coming off last year and, what they learned along the way. I think the biggest thing when you talk about these decisions for some of these players specifically is potential for maybe Team USA in the Olympics, with the Olympic year coming around. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a decision, because you'd have to be there for training, I'm sure, at some point for Team USA, and what that's going to look like. And if you do take that 5th year, are you going to be able to be a part of Team USA? So that would make that decision a lot harder. All right, got to get to a break. More of the show coming up right after this.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Find your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can save up to $13,000 off MSRP on the 2026 GMC Sierra 1500. Visit us in store or shop online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit. Must finance with dealer. Must own and trade in a 2012 or newer passenger vehicle. Tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. Stock number V260747. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Farmers demand equipment that works as hard as they do. For over 60 years, Sukup has been helping farmers protect their operation with industry-leading grain storage, drying, and handling equipment. Designed for performance, reliability, and peace of mind when it matters most, Sukup is proud to stand with the people who keep agriculture moving forward. Family-owned, farmer-focused. Visit Sukup.com to find a dealer near you today.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Chevy. Explore our limited time offers available now. Lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4x4 for $449 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Or save up to $10,000 off MSRP on all retired courtesy 2026 Silverado 1500s. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, retired courtesy loaner, tax, title, license extra. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must trade a 2015 or newer vehicle. Must finance through dealer and based upon available rebates. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Nebraska football fans know what it takes to be the best. You've got to handle the heat, power through the cold, read the pressure. Same goes for the techs at John Henry's. They're trusted to perform when it's all on the line. When winter's driving hard and your furnace fumbles. When your thermostat is in the red zone. When the power goes out before the final whistle. Make the easy call.
Call 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. We did have a text on the text line come in from Bartman. Going back to the conversation we were having in the first segment and some of the news items, if you will, from Troy Dannon and talking about the scheduling and the future. He weighed in and said, my thoughts on schedules. Big Ten should do like the SEC, 3 non-con games. One has to be a power conference game. Other 2 can be cupcakes. No one wants to watch Bowling Green over Tennessee.
Well, that's mean. Bowling Green has a heart too. I mean, I don't think anybody disagrees with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'd all rather see Tennessee. If Tennessee was coming to Memorial Stadium, or if we were going to Neyland, I mean, I'd be thinking about that game every single day leading up. I mean, I'd be juiced right now for that game. Everybody understands that it sets up a completely different vibe of your offseason, of a sense of urgency. The reality is, the way the playoff is set up as currently structured, that nobody has incentive to do that. And that's why, the SEC has created a mandate, of course, to have. But you look at the Huskers' schedule in coming years, like I said before, they are, aside from this year and next, you're going to be playing Oklahoma State. You have Cincinnati again. You have, I'm missing out on a few, but I mentioned them before. There's like 4 or 5 that are scheduled for the future of non-conference power teams that are going to be on your schedule. So in the near future, it's certainly going to be a part of what Nebraska's doing. It's just these next couple of years, it is what it is. Next year, you have the limited capacity once they do the demolition of the south side of the stadium in December of this after this season. So that's why they didn't want to. I think Tennessee, would this have been the year that we would have gone to Tennessee as opposed to Tennessee coming here? I think, yeah. So we would have gone to Tennessee this year, and then they would have had a return trip, I think, the following year. And, of course, the stadium limited capacity would have hurt what that game could have possibly been in 2027. So that's part of why Troy had mentioned that series had been canceled, because of what the stadium situation was going to look like. But I don't have any arguments with Bartman. I would love to see a non-conference power game, but it sounds like the Big Ten might be moving to potentially a 10-conference game season before they would go to mandating a non-conference Power 4.
And again, as we've talked about with the expansion of the playoff, it allows for a little bit more potentially of a margin of error if you're playing one of those big-time matchups in the non-conference. You know, if you lose to a top team, it's not going to hurt
lower
your
risk
chances. You know, it's you still have more. You have potential to continue to win games and still be very much in it. And I think that's what we heard from Petiti, is just making maybe more meaningful games in November, but also kind of gives you some incentive to also schedule those games that you're not going to get punished for it if you lose it.
You know what I would love to do, and they do this in basketball. You'd have to make the numbers work, because the two conferences, the SEC and the Big Ten, and the ACC and the Big 12, there's a lot of different numbers for total number of teams. But having, an SEC Big Ten challenge, say it's in the week 3 of the season, the top team in the standings of the SEC plays the top team in the Big Ten, and then you go down the standings. So the Huskers finished 11th in the Big Ten. Last year, they played the 11th best team in the SEC. And you'd have sort of like a challenge like they do in basketball, and you can mix it up every year. The ACC plays the SEC, the Big 12 plays the Big 10, and you create more of an interesting non-conference. But part of that, like you said, it's going to have to be the expansion of the playoff, because it creates a lower risk in your scheduling and what your resume potentially could be. But also, there's a higher reward if you win some of those games. It makes it a little bit easier to get into that 24-team field.
All right, time for a break. We're back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
The next generation of Huskers starts now. Join the official Kids Club of Nebraska Athletics today to score access to select home games, a discount at the team store, and endless Husker spirit. Get the most of your membership by registering early. Go to Huskers.com/Kids Club to get your membership today. Again, Huskers.com/Kids Club. Go Big Red.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Cybersecurity is a fundamental component of today's business operations. It's not just an add-on, it's essential for business protection. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know that cyber threats are always changing and require constant vigilance. That's why our team delivers real-time threat monitoring and advanced security protocols to safeguard your data and reputation. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we put security at the forefront of your success. Cybersecurity is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com. tongue.
Drive into summer during the Woodhouse Ford Summer Sales Event. From family road trips to tackling the toughest jobs, a new Ford is ready for every mile ahead. For a limited time, receive $1,000 bonus cash plus a 2-year premium maintenance plan on select 2026 Ford models. Browse our inventory online or visit us in-store in Blair, Omaha, or Plattsmouth today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer applies to select stock numbers. 2-year premium maintenance plan includes 2 free oil changes. Offer expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hy-Vee, where there is a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. Welcome back. Final segment of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. So tomorrow, again, Big Ten Media Days for Nebraska. And with that comes an updated media guide, roster updated on the website. And one notable change is Jeremiah Jones has gone from wide receiver to defensive line. Redshirt freshman, 6'4", listed at 230. How about that move, Kyle? He when we saw him on media day, he is huge, massive.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it. He could be listed as a tight end. I mean, he's been a wide receiver here, and who knows? We can ask Coach Rule, and I'm sure he might be asked tomorrow as part of the reasoning why he's moving from that wide receiving room to the, I think he's probably going to be an edge guy, somebody who add a little bit more depth to that pass rushing room. He just, when you look at him in pads, he is a pure athlete. I would trust that guy to be able to get after the quarterback, very much like Mac Markway, who moves from the tight end room to the edge room. So you have 2 guys that are flipping sides of the ball to add some depth to that edge rusher room, which certainly more guys, the better there. Also, did want to update, too, part of that scrum with the media. Troy Dannon also did update on the Mekhi Nelson situation publicly. He did say that there's nothing in terms of course, the charges were dropped in the state of Florida, but there is no issue with the athletic department. He is clear with the athletic department. Now, whether Matt Rule decides to have any sort of internal discipline within the team is a different story, and that's up to him. But as far as Troy Dannon and the athletic department, he is good to go from an institutional standpoint. He's fully eligible.
Yes, I'm sure that will be one of the first questions. What number question do you think that will be when he's asked about it?
On the podium, I don't think we'll get right to him on the podium, on the television podium. I think the side session will be the first question.
And, another update, Carter Nelson still listed as a tight end. We got another comment about that in the
again, the way that that was talked about, and that was something that DB brought up, there's a little nuance as to what he meant when he said that. It's more how they utilize him as a tight end is a lot what you see in certain ways as a wide receiver, and he has that pass catching skill set, but he is in the tight end room. That has never changed. And
DB never said that he was a wide receiver.
Didn't say that he was in the wide receiver room. No.
You just said how they're going to use him might look a little different, but
yes.
He's still a tight end.
Also, Tyke Hayes, Jess, is officially on the roster, too. And a lot of the weights are out, like Jamal Rule's weight is, we'll have Corey Campbell as well next week on the show.
You close it out, by the way. I don't have a timer.
Okay,
so.
I could do that. But we will have Corey Campbell on the show next week, the head of strength and conditioning. We'll talk about, probably have him on Monday. Talk about what the offseason was like. The guys finished up their summer workouts on Monday. They're reporting for fall camp on Tuesday. So we'll dive into the secret sauce of what this past month was like. It's the biggest month for the strength staff and for Corey Campbell because he could truly get their hands on them without organized practices. But once fall camp starts, of course, he still has a big hand in that with weight room and all of that, and he'll be a huge part of fall camp. But we'll get sort of the inside scoop on what the month of July was like for Corey Campbell and his staff. Still plenty more to do. Damon Benning, aforementioned, joins the show in the second hour.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Crew.
Anna, what says summer to you?
Sunshine, road trips, camping.
And?
Ford being #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands according to J.D. Power. And low APR offers with Ford credit financing on a select lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs.
My kind of summer.
For APR offer information, visit Ford.com or your local Ford dealer. For J.D. Power 2026 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2026 model year.
McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com. McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com.
Good evening, I'm Matthew Mills, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. Lots of news for Husker volleyball this Wednesday. First, seniors Bergen Riley, Harper Murray, and Andy Jackson have all been named to the AVCA Player of the Year watch list. 30 players across Division I volleyball were named to the watch list by the AVCA Division I Women's Volleyball Awards Committee, and 3 of them are Huskers. The other news for the volleyball program is their matchup at Jerry World. At the inaugural Spikes Under the Lights event in the Dallas Cowboys AT&T Stadium, the Huskers will take on Florida at 7 p.m. on August 27th. Following the Nebraska vs. Florida match, Penn State will play SMU at 8 p.m., and a championship match between the winners of each match is scheduled for 9 p.m. Spikes Under the Lights will mark the first women's collegiate sporting event at AT&T Stadium and will feature a $1 million prize for the winner. Nebraska men's basketball announced their non-conference schedule for the 2026 to 2027 season. The non-con schedule is highlighted by 4 Power Conference opponents: Missouri out of the SEC, and Providence, Butler, and Creighton out of the Big East. The Huskers will also take on Boise State in mid-November in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. To see the full non-conference schedule, visit Huskers.com. Our sports ticker is brought to you by Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, helping homeowners and businesses protect what matters most for over 45 years.
Back right swing by Kennedy Martin, dug by Bergen. She can do it all. 23-13 Huskers right side swing. Virginia Adriano. Kaboom! Putting dents in the rec hall deck. It's 24-13.
Prince will come out and take it with 14 seconds to go. Huskers trailing by 2. Prince against Sellers, who has 4 fouls. He'll take a 3. Betcha! A CBA 3 for Britt to give Nebraska the lead. I said you want Prince taking the shot, and she did it. She's got 22, and the Huskers have the lead in Seattle.
Nebraska 9, Oklahoma State 1, bottom of the 5th. Runner at first, 2 outs. Jordy Fromm with a 1-2. Godwin swings, and they appeal to first. They rule. She went around. Strike 3, and Nebraska is going to the Women's College World Series in 2026.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. Damon Benning going to join us here in just a few minutes from Chicago, diving into all things Big Ten Media Days. But it's about that time that we need to start getting him on regularly scheduled appearance schedule.
Yeah, I don't get to see him a whole lot. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to see him in person since when? Since our dinner, the dinner we had a couple months ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he lives in Omaha, so we don't live in the same town, so that's part of it. I was in Omaha during the World Series. I saw a friend, and I had dinner, and he was mad that I didn't reach out to him, and I didn't go to his house and all that stuff. So, this is the only time I ever get to see him is through Airlink.
Well, we'll dive into a lot of different things with him coming up here in just a few minutes. Kyle mentioned this at the end of hour number 1 if you're just tuning in, but Troy Dannon came out with a number of news items today, one of those being that Mekhi Nelson, there will be no discipline within the athletics department, but in terms of team disciplinary action and all of that, it'll be left up to Matt Rule, which, I mean, I got to think that he'll address it tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Like you said, it's probably going to be one of the first questions that Matt Rule gets asked, whether if he gets asked on the TV side, the TV podium, the 15-minute session, or the longer session, the side session, that the local media really gets a chance to ask more questions there. It's going to be more Nebraska-centric, I would imagine, than when he first comes on the podium. So they'll ask about Mekhi Nelson. I'm sure they'll ask about the process of Tyke Hayes, who, again, he is now a part of the media guide, which Keith Mann sent out today. How he factors in, is that a true competition? Can Tyke Hayes come in on short notice out of Iowa Western when nobody knew that he transferred out of Penn State to Iowa Western and comes here to Nebraska, had all this hype coming out of high school. Can he, with his skill set, pick up the offense quick enough to have a legitimate role in that running back room? We'll hear from some of the players as well. Like, you'll hear from DB in a little bit and his thoughts on what the tenor might be of Nebraska. But it's a lot of the even keel guys that you'll hear, the Luke Lindenmeyers, the Justin Evans, even though we tried to get Justin to smile a little bit when we talked to him in one of our interviews because he loves to be a cook. So we talked about him, about some of the things he likes to cook. But that's about all that gets Justin Evans to smile nowadays.
Matt on the chat said, Jess, get back in the office. In all caps, by the way, Jess, get back in the office. The interns might burn it down. Listen, I've got full faith in those interns. You have a little bit of issues with them, but I got no
You know who's on the board today?
Is it Maddie Mills?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
He was talking to me earlier in my ear.
Maddie Mills is on the board.
He's telling me when to come in.
He's not only doing the board, he's doing the ticker, and he's doing Win That Wednesday later in the hour. So this man has been prepping nonstop. He got to the point, he's like, can I utilize AI for all this stuff so I don't actually have to work? Yeah, it was a whole discussion here in the pre-show. So these young kids are utilizing AI for everything. And as we know, it's probably going to take both of our jobs in 5 years.
Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Speak for yourself. I'm going to have my dad come in here. He's really good at this kind of stuff. So maybe he can help us out for Win Dat Wednesday.
Win Dat Wednesday. Okay. I like it. Tell him no swearing.
Depending on the topics, he's Matt Coatney-ish on his knowledge. So I think he might be able to help us out. That's coming up here in just a little bit. But no, I've got full faith in the interns. And I appreciate you guys holding down the fort. Again, I had some family things come up. So came down here one last time before fall camp gets underway next week. So, I'll be here today and tomorrow and then be back in studio coming up on Monday. Also wanted to mention, as a part of the kind of the news nuggets, there were several coming out today with Troy Dannon, but he also talked about the NIL contracts and the deliverables with that, with the deal with Playfly Sports, which we're kind of a part of, not really, but kind of a part of. It's our team that we work with. But that has all gone through with the CSC. So now as soon as those guys kind of execute their deliverables, because now that's part of it, is you have to prove that you're doing the work for that money. And so there's going to be with that being said, there's going to be lots of really cool content that's coming out from, social media platforms, from our platforms that we haven't done before. And we're going to have lots and lots of coverage of fall camp. We'll be out there every single night. So, with kind of executing those deliverables, we will have more content for you and kind of exclusive content that we're really excited about.
Yeah, it means you're going to see more of us, I guess, because we're part of helping execute a lot of these interviews. But it also means you're going to get more access, post-practice access, and some of those conversations. And so it's good for the fan in the end. I know it's a player's era, but also I think this will be beneficial for the fans because You'll hear more from the players, and the players have to do more media and more interviews because it's just part of the deal now to get paid.
Mike wants to know, asking you, is Jessica in charge during game days, or is it you or DB? I'm not in charge in game days other than I am only in charge of getting Damon and Ben to the stadium.
The ultimate person in charge is Josh Hilkeman.
Yes.
Our director of broadcasting.
Kyle's in charge. DB's in charge of the night before the game because he picks the restaurants, correct?
Yes.
So you can
he's in charge of Friday nights of Saturday weekend games.
Kyle runs the show on game days. I only have certain responsibilities that I'm in charge of that have been divvied to me, but I am definitely not the chief on game days.
You have a very significant part in the broadcast. So I wouldn't downplay what you do. And then I would say the booth king's probably Ben. Like maybe this year I'm not swimming as much or drowning as much without Ben like last year, but Ben definitely commands the booth. But Josh is the ultimate boss, the man who sits behind.
Josh is the puppet master.
He pulls the strings.
He's the conductor, right, of the orchestra.
Whatever orchestra you want to call us. We are an orchestra, all right. We were up in the booth today organizing the road radio kit. Getting all the wires and headsets ready to go, making it nice and organized. So we did some inventory on that, and it felt good. We were in the Greg Sharp radio booth overlooking the field, so it was good to be back up there.
All right. Well, got to get to a break because Damon Benning standing by, going to join us here on Sports Nightly coming up next as he gears up for Big Ten Media Days. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Husker fans, single game tickets for Nebraska soccer are on sale now. Head to Barbara Hibner Stadium this fall to catch big matchups against Notre Dame, Alabama, USC, UCLA, and more. Want to catch every match? Season tickets are still available and start at $98. Get your tickets today by visiting huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the sea of red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, the official foundation company of the Huskers. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
At Woodhouse Hyundai, triple your down payment in a new 2026 Hyundai Tucson SE. Lease yours for just $264 per month. Put $2,000 down and we'll add another $4,000 on us. Plus, rest assured with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit WoodhouseHyundai.com or WoodhousePlaceHyundai.com today. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license extra. First payment $299 doc fee and $650 acquisition fee due at signing. Stock number H260847. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, where it's mower season. Get 0% financing, professional setup, and local support you can't get at the big box store. Only at Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer. Welcome back to Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody, joining you from Sentinel, Oklahoma, and we're going coast to coast, or I guess top to the bottom of the United States, because Damon Benning joining us from Chicago, getting set for Big Ten Media Days. DB, welcome in.
Hey, how are you guys, man? It's good. The weather's pretty cool here, so I'm actually pretty happy.
I feel like Chicago, Jess, is Damon's city. I don't know why, just because it feel like it's well cultured. It has a great food scene. There's just a lot going on. Damon's always moving around. I feel like Chicago was built for Damon Benning. DB, am I wrong?
Oh, that is a fantastic pull. You're right. I would probably be on the outskirts or just take the train because the traffic is insane, but you're spot on. I could walk. I like being outside, and the food is outstanding. It will be some sort of seafood tonight. I just haven't decided where.
No deep dish
I can't
pizza?
believe you don't already have the spot picked out for tonight.
So I looked at a couple places. It's not as much fun when you're by yourself. So I think, because I don't think the crew would probably go with me tonight. So I'm looking at, I'd like a few TVs. I'd like a little seafood. It's a toss-up. If you know how it goes, if I wait long enough, I'll never decide. So I better zero in here pretty quick.
Well, DB, we've got one more day left tomorrow when Nebraska Coach Rule and players will take their spot on stage for the Big Ten Media Days. But so far, does it feel like it's been a little bit more rah-rah for the Big Ten and Commissioner Petitti, more so than maybe it has in years past?
It's interesting what a little off-season momentum can do, right? You win a couple championships back-to-back, and you make a lot of money on revenue sharing, and all of a sudden everybody feels pretty good about themselves. I have been super surprised that a lot of these coaches are a little out of character. Coach Bielema was extremely excitable. I thought Coach Shiano was really excitable. Coach Fitzgerald is kind of always that guy, so that didn't surprise me as much. Lincoln Riley, a guy you know really well, Jess, that he seems to have settled in. I think he understands what this year means, and it is very much pro Big Ten. They are towing the company line.
I don't think I've gotten your thoughts, DB, on the 24-team playoff. My thought is, as technically a Nebraska homer, right, calling the Nebraska games, whatever gives the Huskers a better chance to be on the dance floor to win a national championship is fine with me. But Petitti went on the podium yesterday and talked about how it gives more opportunity for schools in the middle of the pack. It doesn't necessarily make any games less relevant because you're playing for seeding. You're playing for home playoff games. Where do you stand on, say, if we're going to move from 12, right? Probably not going to go to 16. That was the SEC's first thought. It seems like the momentum is pretty high for 24. Where do you stand on that being the next step in all this?
Well, it's like I'm torn. I don't want more people to the party without having the same dress code. So I just don't want to have a better time at the soiree and just let anybody in, right? I'm kind of more of, okay, let's the dress code. What are we supposed to wear? Then we make the invite list. So I'd like to tighten it up a little. I'm not excited about 24, but if it is good for Nebraska, then I'm good for the number. The competitor in me and the quality of play person in me is like, I'm not interested in seeing the field watered down. I don't think we've missed on a champion yet. So until that happens, I'm not interested in adjusting the field. But I definitely get the premise on why 24 would be advantageous to some of those teams that are in the middle of the pack.
DB, as we listen to these coaches, I feel like there's some reoccurring words that maybe we should have started a drinking game for every time you hear the word alignment or development. It's like a lot of the same things coming up with some of these coaches.
Yeah, I think so. And part of that is, I get it. Like the Big Ten does want to come across as unified, but you guys know how difficult it would be to function as an athletic department, or, a football coach or any of these coaches without being in alignment. The rules are so fluid. It changes by the day. If you're not on the same page or aligned, it could be a miserable experience trying to navigate college athletics in 2026. I think now more than ever, it's important to be on the same page. So when coaches feel like they are in alignment, I think part of that is just the sheer joy of like, I'm glad you're for me. I'm glad you understand revenues. I like being able to put rosters together. We just got to find a way to help me make some more money. And as long as coaches feel like they have that kind of support, I think they can function.
When I think of the league, of course, the top three is the cream of the crop. You have three true national title contenders, and you have the last three national championships in your league. If I'm going to ask you, do you think there's a strong possibility that outside that top three, there's a fourth team that they get in the playoff? And then let me ask you this. From a Nebraska roster standpoint, all those teams ahead of them, so 4 through 10 in the Big Ten. So you have USC, Michigan, Penn State, Washington, Iowa, Illinois, Minnesota. How far off do you think the talent discrepancy is for Nebraska, say, to some of those teams that you could say are in the upper middle class of the Big Ten this year?
Well, it's hard without seeing the final real rosters in terms of health. But I will say this. I don't think there's a huge discrepancy between Washington, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, even Michigan for that part. I do think SC is a tick ahead. I like their schedule. They're coming off, I like their roster. They're coming off a really talented recruiting class, a number one ranked recruiting class. Michigan maybe slightly ahead, but you start getting into the middle of the pack. I don't look at Penn State or Iowa or, Illinois and think, oh my goodness, this is daunting. I think for Nebraska, the quicker they get better on Saturday's in game as they continue to get to be an older football team, the less I worry about what the teams ahead of them look like on paper, and the more I'll be able to dial in terms of how they actually play on Friday or Saturday nights.
DB, you're a press conference nerd. It's well documented. And look, everybody going into this week is the Big Ten champion or favorite to win the Big Ten championship. So they're all saying, rah, we got a great team. We're going to go compete for a Big Ten title. But you've also pointed to some things that maybe stand out to you for certain coaches and how they're addressing certain questions, how they're talking about their team. So what specifically do you listen for and that goes off in your brain is like, okay, I'm maybe can foreshadow a little bit, even though it's still talking season, but I can foreshadow a little bit by what this coach is saying here?
That's a fantastic question. And usually it's a feel, because I try to go by what I'm used to them saying or what do I think their team represents. 2 years ago, Coach Ferentz was unusually giddy about this Iowa team. And, I've always joked with guys, I'm like, does he know something that I don't know? Like, he's unusually bubbly about this team. Year one, I didn't get a good vibe from Lincoln Riley, right? He was a little surly in Indianapolis, and he's talking about schedule, and he didn't like the travel. And I felt like that wasn't very good foreshadowing. Remember, 2 years ago, I thought Signetti stole the show even before he got to the podium. He was off to the side having side sessions with Adam Rittenberg and some of these guys. I'm like, there's just something about his delivery that is catching me. This year so far, I'll give you two really good examples. To hear Coach Bielema really, he's always got this quiet confidence and he can be a little snarky, but I like the fact, if you're an Illinois fan, with, them getting him feeling confident about what's going to happen on the O-line and the D-line, knowing that they have to reload, kind of caught me off guard. He's not usually like that. He usually plays a little closer to the vest. I look at a guy like Greg Schiano, who, he doesn't often talk about talent, right? But he said, hey, listen, this is the deepest roster I've had. This is the most talent we have. This is a good time to be coaching where you can change rosters. To the pause side of it, Coach Ferentz, first time I can remember where he said, and I get it, right? 7 of their top 8 defensive linemen are gone. He said, this will be a little different for us. We may substitute a little more. Nobody's getting 500 snaps. This may be more by committee. I'm interested to find that out. But he was in a really positive mood to not even really know who his quarterback's going to be. So usually I'm tipped off by things when coaches say things that typically seem to be out of the ordinary to their normal personality.
You know, DB, I'm looking through the league and I see some really interesting teams, right? We played UCLA last year at the Rose Bowl, and they have a new head coach trying to take that Kurt Cignetti model, bring some guys over from James Madison. You still have Nico at quarterback. Northwestern, I love their head coach, David Braun. They bring in Chip Kelly. It seems like an odd mix to have him in there as the offensive coordinator. Maryland, they have Malik Washington back, Loxley back for another year. And you mentioned Pat Fitzgerald, and sort of he's a guy who's proven that he can win in this league. That group. So you think Michigan State, Maryland, Northwestern, UCLA. I look at those teams as perhaps, can they exceed preseason expectations? If I gave you that, those four teams, who do you say in the kind of the lower half of the league? Who would you say maybe has the opportunity to surprise most?
Northwestern schedule's tough. I think Braun's an outstanding coach. He's coach of the year his first year for a reason. And then all of a sudden he found himself in a little bit of hot water. I didn't get it given the job that he'd done. Then last year, right back to being Braun. But to the specifics of your question, I like Northwestern. Schedule's just too tough. Maryland, too much happens on Saturdays with the in-game stuff, given their talent level. Loxley's always been able to recruit, but it just doesn't translate into how they finish the second halves of seasons. And listen, they're on an 8-9 game losing streak heading into last year, so I can't give them the benefit of the doubt. But one team I do like, and I think they did a fantastic job with the hires. I like UCLA. I like Iamaleava. I like that roster. Chesney's proven that he's about business. They seem to have found a new revenue stream or an influx of money. I like UCLA to kind of make some noise. They've got a huge opener, which should tell me a lot. They go to Berkeley and they play Cal, right? It's a SoCal, NoCal thing. Not a far travel, not a far trip. But Cal's pretty good, right? Both quarterbacks, I think, will be top 15 in the country when it's all said and done. And that game is practically a toss-up. If UCLA gets that one and gets off to a good start, I could see that being a team that makes some noise to maybe get into the upper echelon, but they've got to get off to a good start. You mentioned Maryland with Loxley. Listen, that game at UConn in week 2, that's must win for Loxley. So I don't really like picking teams like that have their back against the wall. Northwestern schedule, like I mentioned, is just too tough. Out of that bunch, I kind of like UCLA to be able to make a move.
Good stuff with DB. Take a quick pause in our long conversation that we had with Damon Benning earlier today. He's out at Big Ten Media Days, so he'll be in the midst of course, the Huskers getting set to talk tomorrow. More of that conversation with Damon Benning. That's next.
McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com. McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com.
Right now is the perfect time to upgrade your ride with Woodhouse Nissan, your destination for selection, value, and amazing savings. Receive 0% APR for 60 months on select 2026 Nissan models, like the new Nissan Rogue, or save up to $7,000 off MSRP on these select models. Visit us in Bellevue or Omaha, or browse our offers online today. With approved credit, $299 doc fee due at signing. Expires September 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Husker fans, football season is right around the corner. We need you there to continue to make Memorial Stadium the best atmosphere in college football. You can now choose between 2 mini plans, a 3-game mini plan for $185 and a 4-game mini plan for $225. These plans are your best way to guarantee a ticket to the Indiana and Ohio State game and are only available while supplies last. To purchase today or for more information, visit Huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Every year, Nebraska comes together. Across small towns, big cities, living rooms and stadium seats, one thing connects us all. It's more than athletics. It's community. It's tradition. It's home. Allo is proud to keep connections strong with 100% fiber internet and hometown service built for Nebraskans. Stay connected to what matters with Allo Fiber, proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, you know Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, well, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the clock hits 0 and the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. With the Husker Visa debit card, free with FMBO free checking, you can be one who lives it, one who proves it. Show your pride every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FMBO, the bank of Husker Nation. One for the loyal, one for the fans, one for you. Get yours today at fmbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
There are plenty of decisions in life. Choosing where to buy your next vehicle should be easy. At Woodhouse Auto Family, everything begins with our commitment to clear price. A promise to make buying your next vehicle straightforward, transparent, and hassle-free. From exploring our large selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to financing and service after the sale, we're here to make every step easier. Experience the Woodhouse difference. Woodhouse, clear price, clear choice. Hassle-free all the way to your driveway.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop your next vehicle with a home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Back here on Sports Nightly, we had a chance earlier today to chat with the football color analyst for the Huskers. That's Damon Benning, my partner and friend Jessica Coody, part of that conversation as well. We continue that long chat. Here's our second part of that conversation.
DB, I heard 3 different coaches today say they want to be something along the lines of be the best developmental program in the country. We know Coach Roll wants to be a developmental program at Nebraska. You kind of have to be in this day and age with the money thrown around in the transfer portal. But I'm going to flip it to Indiana. Is Indiana a developmental program? Do we know yet?
So I would say no, but here's why. Listen, 2 of the premier coordinators, right? You're paying, that's a lot of money, right? You got a $3 million defensive coordinator. Shanahan's going to make his money as an offensive coordinator. But the thing that I think Indiana has done better than anybody else when they hit the ground running is they talent evaluate. So they've gotten so much production out of players that they've already had or out of the portal. I haven't had a chance to really see them develop young guys into older guys to give them that development label. But one thing they are elite at is evaluating talent. Signetti and that staff, they know exactly who can fit in that program and just how to make it work. They have an advantage, in my opinion, on knowing exactly what they're looking for, but I can't go to the development card just yet because I haven't seen enough young guys become old guys. I've seen him take his old guys and transport them to Bloomington, and I've seen him take more mature guys. I mean, how would I evaluate Nick Marsh? Right? Nick Marsh was a really good player. He's a pro prospect in East Lansing. He's going to be a pro prospect in Bloomington. I don't know if I'm ready to shift gears from talent evaluator to developer. He can definitely develop a culture. for sure.
Which one would you rather have as a head coach, a talent evaluator or developer?
So it depends on my staff. If I've been with my staff a long time, I'm all in on the talent evaluation. If we're kind of new and we're working this thing along, it better be about development early on. But I think if my staff is mature and we've been around a long time, give me the talent evaluator.
DB, three really interesting teams. I mean, I look at Michigan, right? Their ceiling is really high, not really talked about. Underwood's back, new head coach. We saw Jason Beck up close and personal with Utah. We know just how good he is with the running quarterback. You want to talk about easy schedules, but Penn State has one of the easier schedules I think I've ever seen. And then Washington, those three, I think, are all teams that you could see in the playoff. That's what makes this conference this year is so interesting, because Michigan goes in not really talked about. I think Penn State, a lot of people will realize just how easy perhaps the road is, although you have 40 total transfers coming in for Penn State and Matt Campbell. And then Washington, I think that's always a place that we expect to pop with Jed Fish.
Yeah, they're so interesting. I'll start with Washington. I think, I like the roster. They've got 9 starters back on defense. They've got a 5-star transfer, 2 of them at the running back spot, and I like Damon Williams. What I don't know about Fish is their overall depth. I think the first 28, 29, really good players. Damon Williams, uber talented. Listen, when you sue me and I have to give back $2 million and you make me come back to a place that I originally didn't want to be, I don't know what that's going to do. Now, I assume if Williams is a professional and he wants to ultimately get paid and be an NFL player, he better show up. That's the myopic version of it. The reality of it is it may not take much if they get off to a little bit of a shaky start where you feel a few grumble bugs. Talent-wise, I'm all in on Washington. Just don't know where they're at. You give me a team like Michigan. Michigan, I feel like, is, for as much as a Wolverine team can be, they're flying way under the radar. I don't know if it was Eric Weddle and what he said about Bryce Underwood this offseason, or the fact that, scandal has besieged this program, and Ward Manuel's on his way out with a $7.1 million compensation package. And so maybe the distraction is off of Whittingham and Beck, but that combo is sensational. I think it's easy for Michigan fans to rally behind Whittingham because they know Whittingham teams are going to be tough. And Michigan's pedigree is toughness, and they're going to run the football. I think he will get the best out of Bryce Underwood, regardless of what the skeptics have said in the offseason. So I'm with you that Michigan could really make some noise. Who was the third team you asked me about?
Penn State, just with the schedule that they have.
So they're interesting, right? Campbell recruited our household really hard. I feel like I have a good idea of how and what he's after. Now, the roster is a little 50-50. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing, here's what I'm really interested about Penn State, because I think Campbell is a fantastic coach. What I'll be curious to see is and he can't know because he hasn't been in it, but I think he's going to find the Big Ten is exceptional across the board in coaching. The day-to-day is one thing. The Friday nights and Saturdays are a whole nother. The way teams make adjustments, the way you get scouted, the payroll of your assistants. This is a big boy coaching league. So I'm with you tentatively on the schedule, even though I'm not a schedule guy. But what the Big Ten Conference needs in order to be successful, that's got to be some sort of a learning curve. Now, if you're going to get a schedule to have an introductory kind of landing, you want their schedule. But the coaching acumen is on a whole nother level in this conference.
All right, continuing on that storyline, we've hit on a lot of the new coaches. So if you're putting money down on a first-year head coach and what they could maybe achieve in year 1, who would that be? And then also, if you're putting money on a coach for year 5, who would that be?
I'm definitely going with Coach Whittingham in year 1. I think he's got the pedigree. He's got the talent. He's got the blueprint of his team's success. I just think they're kind of just laying in the cut. And I get it. It's super top heavy with Oregon and Indiana and Ohio State always loaded. USC is the new darling because of, listen, you added Gary Patterson, you had Ryan, your staff was really good. You like your talent, and everybody wants, it's SC, right? It's Hollywood. And so, but I think we have to be very careful about what's going on in Ann Arbor, because I think they're lying in wait. The fifth year thing, the fourth. Can I give you a fourth year coach and be excited about Coach Rule?
Yes,
because
sure. But I was thinking new head coaches. But go ahead, yeah.
Well,
who might be able to develop into being maybe 4 years down the road from now? We're talking about them being successful.
I'll tell you what.
You think
I like
Barry
Chesney.
Odom gets Purdue out of the muck eventually?
I like Chesney. That's a great call, Casey, because I think it's kind of like Missouri and the SEC. People forget Purdue is in the Big Ten conference. Yep. They just do. Right? That's a great call on Odom. He's flying under the radar. He's a super winner. Listen, you win at Wake, you can win anywhere, right? I mean, he can win. But Chesney's the one that interests me. Jess, if I'm playing the long game of the new guys 3 or 4 years from now.
Yeah, I think it is certainly fascinating. Big year for Luke Fickell as well. We know the AD change.
How about that? And how would you like to be Fickell with Akrs coming in as a Wisconsin guy? Mm-hmm. And if a guy like Jason Eck has another good year at New Mexico, you think the Badger fans aren't going to be clamoring to bring Jason Eck back home? That is a fascinating situation in Madison.
What kind of tack do you think Nebraska takes in media day? Matt Rule's Matt Rule. I'm not sure he can be anybody but himself. But I would assume they're going to ask him about global college football, the bigger picture stuff, and he might go in depth on that. But I just, the way it's been this offseason, it's been somewhat quiet. We've had him in here maybe once since the spring game. Do you feel like it's just going to be a little bit more of a tame Matt Rule, or the players are going to have the same message?
Yeah, I do. I think they're going to be on the same page. They've been so dialed with these 4 months of OTAs. And, I'm just always curious to see what guys have been in the program 2-3 years. Tell me about the difference in the program from when they got here to now. And I'm telling you right now, it's rigor. It's workload. And I get it. You're going to get the eye rolls. Oh, it's always the hardest work in off season. I'm not talking to the immature fan. I'm talking to the one that understands that when you haven't got off to the start that you wanted to, and it's year 4, you don't have any choice but to work harder and work smarter. And I think they've done that. I like what they've done with the additions in the building, a Corey Brown, a Roy Manning, with Teasley and Coach Wade. You bring in Coach Yoke, who's kind of the silent assassin. I always liked the infrastructure, right? That wasn't really the thing. I just wanted a few more football guys in the building so you could instill in the players to handle the rigor of the offseason. To a man, I think the players will tell you this is the first time that they've looked around. And maybe it's because the OTAs are so long. 4 months of these guys, where you look around and you can be replaced, right? You blink and somebody else is going to be darn near good enough to make sure that it's uncomfortable that if you miss practice. That's the roster is deep. Now, what the high-end talent yields, I'm not sure, but this is the most like players he's had on the roster without a lot of variance from top to bottom. Competitiveness will reign supreme. And look at who he's bringing. He's bringing Justin Evans, who's all business. You guys have talked to him. It's like pulling teeth. Right. I know he's made a concerted effort from the leadership standpoint and to be more vocal, but he's still Justin Evans. You bring in Andrew Marshall, who I think his defensive coordinator would be shocked, chagrined, and dismayed the day when he got here and said, wait a minute, Marshall is that kind of player for you? I didn't know if I saw that in the cards, even when I had him at Idaho. And then you get Luke Lindemeyer, who's as good as it gets when it comes to being buttoned up and even killed. I don't think any of the guys stray from the storyline, which has been nothing but business this offseason.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to, I guess, a couple more days of talking season, and then a week from today, actually, we'll kick things off with camp, and then we'll start needing more regular scheduled appearances from you, DB.
Listen, I have yet to tell you no. Just ask and you shall receive. You get what you want.
I can't wait to see you out of practice. This is the time of year. DB, I'm ready. My charts are done. I'm 3 weeks deep. I'm 3 weeks deep in preparation. We got North Dakota charts going.
I've been having to bring Sonny into the studio.
What's the matter, KC? What's going on?
What do you mean? What's going on?
Oh, I said you've been a little.
Oh no, it's just I love seeing Sonny. I get to see a nice loving being every once in a while. Jess yells at me for 2 hours a night on Sports Nightly, so I get something that actually likes me and shows me feelings every once in a while.
He's so ready for football that he's getting a little antsy, and so I've got to bring in his emotional support dog and Sonny every now and again to calm him down. So
listen, Kyle, I feel the same way. Jess could have she could polish a turd, right? So she's always going to figure out a way to be optimistic. We got to keep up, man. She's tough to handle.
I don't know how you do 3 hours every morning, DB, of talking season. I know we have interviews and things that help chew some of this time up, but boy, this is just we're dragging to kick off here. This has got to get going.
Too, so I know you're serious, man, because
we're doing trivia Tuesdays to fill the time that Kyle hates.
Yeah,
and he's terrible at. Don't ever draft Kyle for trivia.
You're just diversifying your portfolio, Casey. You're just becoming well-rounded.
Sure, I'll play along.
All right, DB, go find your dinner spot. Thanks for joining.
You got it.
Again, Damon Benning here with us on Sports Nightly. Got to get to a break. More of the show coming up right after this.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
Husker fans, the 2026 Nebraska football season is quickly approaching, and we need you in the Sea of Red at Memorial Stadium this fall. Single game tickets for all 7 home games start at just $45 and are now available in both end zone and sideline seat locations. These tickets are only available while supplies last, so get yours today before they're gone. To purchase your Husker football single game tickets or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear weekend, Toyota trucks are raring to go. Gearing up for fall, Tundra is all in for hauling. Campers, ATVs, Tundra's got the muscle to move it. Going off the beaten path? Tacoma says, let's do this. With handling that tackles tough trails and the backbone to take you where the pavement can't. Both trucks pack sweet tech, posh cabins, and Toyota's legendary reliability. So whether it's a fishing trip at dawn, tailgate at noon, or a remote sunset at, sunset, these trucks are built to make every weekend epic. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee proudly supports the Huskers. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Mentioned earlier, I'm in Oklahoma, so I got my dad joining us here for this final segment. This is Jack Coody. So we've got Wind at Wednesday. Kyle's not any good at trivia. I'm not any good at Wind at Wednesday. So I brought in reinforcements to help me out tonight, Kyle.
He's going to be the reason that we do well here. And we got Maddie Mills. Maddie Mills is our host, so we'll get right to it because we're up against the clock. But Mr. Coody's going to make us a winner today. Go ahead, Maddie Mills.
Here we go, Maddie.
All right, first year gaming console battle. We had the PS4 versus Xbox One, both released this year.
Okay.
Second event, the Boston Marathon bombing was this year.
Okay, that's probably not that much of an uplifting topic, but okay.
The Jordan Westerkamp Hail Mary, the infamous
2013.
That is correct.
Nice.
How about that, Mr. Coody? How about that?
Kyle's hot today. Other things in 2013, Wolf of Wall Street was released.
Okay.
And then the The last hint, rebound Bosch, back out to Allen, his 3-pointer.
Bang.
Bang.
Okay.
All right, next year, Microsoft was founded. Okay. The Rubik's Cube was invented this year.
Okay.
Queen released the album Bohemian Rhapsody.
What are we thinking, Mr. Coody? We have an idea?
It's got to be in the 80s.
Queen released, what was the album?
Bohemian
Early
Rhapsody.
80s.
Okay. You can go to the next one.
Husker volleyball played in its inaugural season.
First season for
Oh,
Husker.
that's 78.
A little earlier. We're looking for a little earlier. And then in theme of Shark Week, Jaws was also released this year.
Jaws was released. I have no idea.
75, yeah.
75's your answer.
75.
Well done.
Just got it. All right.
All right.
Next year, Muhammad Ali was born this year.
Okay.
The Manhattan Project was started in America to develop the first atomic bomb.
You're really on a good trend here. Okay.
Yep. The Rose Bowl, which was played between Oregon State and Duke, was relocated because of fear of Japanese West Coast invasion.
Really?
Yep.
He says 1941.
1941?
Not 1941.
Well, this has got to be around
42?
the end of World War II,
42,
right?
yep. 42.
42.
Husker football that year, they went 3-7, but roster heavily impacted by World War II. So that was another big impact. And then Bambi was released as Disney's fifth.
Oh, wow. Thanks for the kicker
full-length
there at the end with Bambi.
animated film.
I appreciate that.
All right. I didn't, I guess, think this through, but this next one's not super uplifting either.
Yeah.
What?
North Korea
You're
launches
fired.
missiles into the Sea of Japan.
What in the world?
Wait, what'd you say? Repeat it.
Yeah.
North Korea launched missiles into the Sea of Japan.
Yep, doing some
Okay.
testing. Ryan Coogler's movie Get Out was released. Very, very popular film.
Who?
Ryan Coogler.
I know Kevin Coogler. I don't know Ryan.
Different
I don't know
Coogler.
Ryan. Are they related?
Amy Williams turned around Husker women's basketball, went from 7-22 to 21-11, making the NCAA tournament.
Okay.
2015?
What'd she say?
She said 2015.
Close. The state of
16.
Nebraska turned 150 this year. And
16.
final
2016?
closer.
2017?
2017, yep.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
was the
and
final
then
one?
Kendrick Lamar released his album Damn. So
That was the last one of that one?
Yep.
Okay. Is that it?
That's
Is
what
that
we
all of
had.
them?
Yeah.
Well done. An exceptionally uplifting
Yeah, I didn't-
Wednesday. If there's
I didn't.
If there's a war that gets started in the in this year, I'm sure you'll bring it up next week.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, I guess I didn't realize the long string together of.
but you did mention Bambi, so we
Bambi
appreciate
was
that.
in 1942. Bambi was released, animated film.
Matty Mills is my favorite time of the week, and that's Wendat Wednesday. Mr. Coody, you were fantastic. You did a great job.
Had to get back in my heyday in the 40s, which I wasn't
Yeah.
doing yet, but I'm history buff.
There you
World War
go.
II especially.
You're the reason we
All
did
right.
well. So, Jess,
All
wrap
right.
it up.
Well, coming up tomorrow, we're going to hear from Andy Jackson. Also, we'll recap Big Ten Media Days. So, as Nebraska takes the podium. So, that should be a fun day. We got another big day coming up tomorrow, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll hear from Matt Roll. We'll play some cuts from that. And, of course, Andy Jackson's huge. But more football because we are getting there. I'll have a chat next week coming up with Corey Campbell, too. So we're just getting into camp mode. We're a little closer. Talking season is officially over starting tomorrow.
All right, I'll be back in Oklahoma tomorrow. So it's our final show of the week and our final best of because we'll be back on Fridays starting next week. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to everybody back in the studio for helping us. I lost my timer, but we'll talk to you tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Nebraska. We're connected by more than fiber. We're connected by traditions, by hometown pride, by the sea of red on game day, by generations of fans who know what it means to cheer together. Allo is proud to be the connection behind those moments, bringing families together, keeping communities close, and helping Nebraskans stay connected to what truly matters. Allo Fiber, connecting what matters. Proud partner of Husker Athletics. Learn more at allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
When it comes to your business running efficiently day to day, you rely on technology and a network that is secure, fast, and has measures in place to help prevent downtime. At Hamilton Business Technologies, we know firsthand that reliability is business. We work with businesses across the state to implement managed IT solutions that keep your business running securely. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Reliability is business. Hamilton is business. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You show up for every Husker game because it's about more than football. It's about celebrating that Nebraska grit that's in our DNA. That same drive pushes you to get stronger, move more, and take care of yourself. To show up for the people and moments that matter most. We believe you have what it takes. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska covers preventive care with every plan. And our digital tools help you stay on track every step of the way. Blue believes in what you're made of. And Blue believes in you.
McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisInc.com. McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal, Nebraska and Iowa's go-to choice since 1981. Roofing, siding, windows, gutter, sheet metal, or repairs. Their team delivers quality you can rely on. For commercial or residential projects, trust McKinnis Roofing and Sheet Metal. Visit McKinnisinc.com.